She said she needed fresh air, but he found the truth waiting outside. My wife and I, Clara, we were supposed to be the perfect couple. We'd been together for 10 years, married for 7. We had a beautiful home, 2 amazing kids, and a life that everyone envied. Or so I thought. Looking back, the signs were there like tiny cracks in a perfect vase. They were easy to ignore at first, just little things that didn't seem to mean much on their own. It started with her phone. Clara, who used to leave her phone lying around anywhere, suddenly had it attached to her hip. It was always face down on the table or clutched in her hand. One evening, a message popped up while she was in the shower. I glanced over, not trying to be nosy, and saw a name I didn't recognize. Alex. The message just said, "Thinking of you." I brushed it off. Alex could be anyone, a new colleague, an old friend from college. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then came the late nights at work. Clara was a graphic designer and her job could be demanding. But suddenly, these urgent projects started popping up 2 or 3 times a week. She'd come home exhausted, smelling faintly of a cologne that wasn't mine. When I asked about it, she'd laugh it off. Well, that's probably just from the office. You know how many people are packed in there. I wanted to believe her, loved her, and trust was the foundation of our marriage. I didn't want to be the jealous, suspicious husband, so I pushed my doubts down, burying them under the routine of our daily lives. The distance between us grew, our conversations became superficial, mostly about the kids or household chores. The intimacy we once shared felt like a distant memory. When I tried to talk to her about it, to bridge the gap that was widening between us, she'd get defensive. "I'm just tired, Mark," she'd say. "Work is stressful. The kids are a handful. I don't have the energy for this right now." It was a wall, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to break through it. I felt so alone, even when she was sitting right next to me. The final straw, the moment that shattered my carefully constructed denial, happened on a Saturday night. It was our anniversary. I had planned a special evening. I booked a table at our favorite restaurant, the one where I proposed. I bought her a beautiful necklace she'd been admiring for months. I just wanted to feel close to her again, to see that spark in her eyes that I had fallen in love with. She came downstairs dressed to go out, but not in the elegant dress I had hoped to see. She was wearing jeans and a simple top. She looked at me, her expression unreadable. "Mark," she said, her voice quiet. "I'm so sorry, but I can't go. I'm not feeling well. Terrible headache." My heart sank. I tried to hide my disappointment. "Oh, okay, honey. We can reschedule. Can I get you anything? Some aspirin?" She shook her head. "No, I think. I'm going to go for a little walk. Fresh air. At 9 o'clock on a cold, rainy night." A knot of dread tightened in my stomach. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. A walk? In this weather? "Clara, it's pouring outside." She just shrugged, avoiding my eyes. "I just need to clear my head. I won't be long." She grabbed her keys and her purse and walked out the door, leaving me standing alone in the hallway with the gift box still in my hand. I stood there for a few minutes, the silence of the house pressing in on me. The kids were asleep upstairs. The romantic dinner I had planned was now a cruel joke. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The fresh air excuse felt so thin, so rehearsed. The doubt I had been suppressing for months came roaring back, stronger than ever. I had to know. I couldn't live with this uncertainty anymore. Driven by a desperate need for the truth, I grabbed my car keys. My hands were shaking as I started the engine. I didn't have a plan. I just started driving, hoping. I don't even know what I was hoping for. Maybe to find her walking alone, clearing her head just like she said. Maybe to prove to myself that all my fears were just in my head. I drove towards the small park a few blocks from our house. It was a place we used to go to often. As I turned the corner, my headlights cut through the rain and illuminated a car parked in a secluded spot by the lake. It was a familiar car, a sleek black sedan, Alex's car. I'd seen it once before, when Clara had pointed him out as a new work friend, dropping off some files. My blood ran cold. I parked my car a short distance away, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. I cut the engine and just sat there, staring, the windshield wipers smearing the rain across the glass. And then I saw them. The dome light in the other car flickered on. In that brief, terrible flash of light, I saw Clara. She was in the passenger seat, and she wasn't alone. She was with him, with Alex, and they weren't just talking. He was leaning over and she was turning her face towards his. They kissed. It wasn't a quick peck, it was a long, passionate kiss, the kind she hadn't given me in years. In that one moment, my entire world collapsed. Every lie, every excuse, every late night at work, it all crashed down on me. The fresh air she needed was him. The headache was an excuse to be in his arms. The 10 years we had built together, our family, our home, it all felt like a lie. I don't know how long I sat there, just watching. It could have been minutes, it could have been an hour. Time had lost all meaning. All I could feel was a profound, gut-wrenching pain, a betrayal so deep it felt like a physical wound. The rain hammered down on the roof of my car, a perfect soundtrack to the storm that was raging inside me. Eventually, their car started up and pulled away. I didn't follow. There was no point. I had my answer. I drove home, my mind a complete blank. I walked back into the empty house, the anniversary gift still on the hall table. The smell of the dinner I had cooked lingered in the air, a phantom of a night that never was. About 30 minutes later, the front door opened and Clara walked in. She shook the rain from her coat, a slight flush on her cheeks. "Feeling better?" I asked, my voice dangerously calm. She looked up, startled. "Oh yes, much better." The air really helped. The casual way she lied right to my face was what broke me. "Fresh air," I said, my voice cracking. "Or was it Alex that helped you feel better?" The color drained from her face. Her eyes widened in panic. She started to stammer, "Mark, what are you talking about? ... Don't lie to me, Clara," I interrupted, my voice rising. "Not anymore. I saw you. In the park." In his car? The confession was written all over her face. The guilt, the shame, the fear. There were tears in her eyes, but I couldn't feel any pity. All I could feel was the gaping hole she had torn in my heart. Our marriage didn't end with a bang that night, but with the quiet, devastating implosion of trust. The conversation that followed was the hardest one of my life. It was full of tears, accusations, and heartbreaking admissions. She had been seeing him for 6 months. It started as a friendship at work and spiraled into something more. She said she felt lost, that she didn't know who she was anymore outside of being a wife and a mother. She said he made her feel seen. I listened to her excuses, her justifications, but they all sounded hollow. Nothing she could say could erase the image of her in that car. Nothing could heal the betrayal. The woman I had loved, the woman I had built a life with, was a stranger to me. The perfect picture of our life was shattered, and there was no putting the pieces back together. Finding out was the end of my marriage, but it was also the beginning of my journey to find myself again, to heal from a wound I never saw coming. It's a long road, but it's a road I have to walk. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you're not alone. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.